Almost everything we've been taught about manifestation is a complete lie. I've spent the last 90 days manifesting in rapid speed. I 3x my income twice. I 10x my following multiple times. And y'all, as someone who has spent the last 10 years studying manifestation, Abraham Hicks, Neville Goddard, Joe Dispenza, got the book, got the t-shirt, did it all, we have missed a key element. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can completely not just change your life, but change who you are in the next 90 days. I do not recognize myself from 3 months ago, and I mean that on every level, internally and externally, in the best way possible. Here's what I need you to know. 90% of you are never going to do this because it is the easiest and hardest thing that you will ever do. The last 90 days have tested every part of my inner and external world, and it took everything in me not to throw in the towel and just give up and say, it's just not for me, it's for other people. But I persisted. If you are ready to lock in, if you're ready to change your life in the best way possible, I want to share with you everything that I have learned over the last 90 days that will take you from I'm manifesting, I want to create to something, I want to have something, to living it, to experiencing it, and understanding the gap between where you are and where you want to go. Because here's what I need you to know first. Your identity is everything. I follow so many amazing people in the manifestation space, but the key piece that I very rarely hear talked about, but is everything that has changed how I approach manifestation with ease, identity. Your identity, what you say after I am, is everything. Here's what I need you to understand. Your identity is creating your worldview. As you're listening to me right now, you are thinking thoughts about me, about yourself, based on the identity that you currently hold. That identity cannot come with you where you want to go. I'm going to repeat that again. The identity that you currently hold about yourself, what you believe about yourself, who you are, how you see the world, cannot come with you where you are going. Your identity is made up of stories and experiences from what you saw, what you didn't see, whether that's from family, society, capitalism, that right now you are upholding by the thoughts that you are thinking every single day. Our identity creates our thoughts. We have millions of thoughts all day long. 95% of them are subconscious thoughts, meaning that you're not even aware of them. That programming is running the background of your life day in and day out. And until you get in there and rework the system, recode the programming, your life will never surpass what you believe about yourself, your identity, your thoughts, your beliefs, and thereby your actions. 90 days ago, I felt stuck. I felt overwhelmed. I felt stressed about business, about finances, about family, about everything. And I decided to completely shatter everything I believed about myself. Every identity, every I am, I decided to get rid of. Let me be very clear. It was wildly uncomfortable because here's what this requires. First, awareness. You have got to get clear on the current identity that you are holding on to for dear life. You're probably not even consciously aware of it, but there is an identity running in the background of every decision you do and don't make, every feeling you feel, every thought you think that is running the background of your life. And until you go beyond that identity, you will never change your life. 90 days ago, I decided to become aware. I started to become the observer of my thoughts instead of just letting the thoughts be me. I am no longer the thought, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, it's never going to work. I am the person that is watching that thought and has the opportunity to interrupt that thought and notice it, not to judge it, not to make it wrong, but to simply notice the thought. Is this in alignment with the life that I desire to create for myself? No? Okay, I no longer have to keep that thought running in the background. Here's what I need you to do. For the next few days, I need you to catch every single thought. Don't make it wrong. Don't make it mean anything about yourself. Just catch them. When you're in the mirror, when you're talking to yourself, when you're brushing your teeth, when you're out with friends and you go to want to say something, but then you hold back because you're like, oh no, I don't want to say that. I'll be weird. I need you to catch every single thought. While you're doing that, I need you to catch all your feelings, all your beliefs, every action you do and don't take. I want you to start to become the observer. You need to get in the driver's seat of your life instead of being a passenger. You have been living on autopilot. Think about your last 24 hours, and I want you to be a fly on the wall and just watch yourself. What's your body language? What did you do that you didn't really want to do? What did you not say that you really wanted to say? That you has to stop here. If you desire to move into a completely new stratosphere, universe, reality, I need you to understand that this you can't come. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Your time has ended. This practice requires a level of self-honesty that most of y'all will never do, because it requires you to say, oh, why did I say that? Am I trying to outshine her because I'm really insecure? Oh, why did I have that judgment of that person's video that I just watched? Is it really that I desire to take up space and seeing them take up space is triggering to me? That level of uncomfortable, radical self-honesty, where you no longer blame anyone or anything outside of you for where you are. You start looking inwardly, not to make yourself wrong, not to feel bad about yourself, but to decide I can continue to be subjected to my current circumstances, or I can decide to go beyond them, to be no longer be defined by what I see, feel, hear, smell, touch, and curate my inner world in such a deep way that no matter what is happening outside of me, I'm good. Once you started to become aware, you are going to notice all the times that you start to say, well, I'm just someone who, or I always do it like this, or you find yourself being triggered by someone, but really it's just awakening something inside of you that you get the chance to work through, that you get the chance to sit with, a story, a belief that is no longer helpful for you. Once we have awareness, we have to make a decision. What do you want? Most of us will never admit what we want because we don't actually believe we can have it. The old you couldn't have it. The you that you are about to step into has everything they desire and more. What do you want? If no one would get mad at you, if you knew that you could succeed, if you knew that it was for your highest good, what do you want? And more important than that, how do you want to feel? Because until you can get clear on what do you want, you cannot create the roadmap, the GPS system for what is the identity, the version of me that I'm stepping into that is in alignment with that desire. Let me take you back to 90 days ago. I was feeling very sorry for myself. My inner world was, my business isn't working how I want it. It never works. I have a ceiling on how much I can make, how much I can grow, how much my community can expand. That was my story. I had a belief that I'm good, but I'm not that good. I'm not as good as the others. And it's not possible for me to grow as fast because I don't have someone investing in my business or funding or a trust fund baby. That was my story. That was getting me nowhere. I had to become aware of that inner world that I was creating about myself, the beliefs that I was holding on to, and start to interrupt the thought pattern and recognizing that I have complete control over what happens inside, despite what is happening externally, and so do you. Then I had to decide, what do I want? What do I really want? Not what do I think is attainable, but what do I really want? Oh, I know. I want to be a New York Times bestselling author. I want a platform that reaches millions of people around the world. I want to host events in sold out stadiums with thousands of attendees. I want a life and a business that allows me to be a present mom and wife and also take care of me. I want a luxury travel. I want to rent a yacht in the summer. Here's what I need you to know though. In all of those wants is not a need. I don't actually need any of that to feel whole and complete. These are simply nice to haves. Wouldn't it be nice to experience that? Wouldn't it be nice to have that? We are here to experience life. So why would I not want to experience all that life has to offer? We limit ourselves so much because we're afraid of being judged. We're afraid that we'll never get it. We're afraid that we'll never be good enough for it. But really on the other side of all of those wants is a feeling that I believe those things will provide. Why do I want a New York Times bestselling book? Why do I want to speak on stages in front of thousands of people? There's a feeling of fulfillment that I get when I hear someone else say, hey, your words helped me. Your words helped me move through something. Thank you for sharing your story because it allowed me to know I'm not alone. That feeling of fulfillment, purpose means more to me than anything else. So not only do I need you to know what you want, I need you to know why do you want it? What is the feeling you believe that thing will bring you? So now we've started to become aware, right? And this is an ongoing process because even as I'm filming this video right now, I am catching my thoughts, my inner dialogue. Is anyone going to watch this video? Am I doing it right? Am I saying enough words? Is the hook hooky enough? All of that is old identity that I get to catch the old thought, remove it, release it, and replace it with the version of me who already has millions of people who receive value from what I have to share. That is the me that I get to embody today before the millions of people. And then we make a decision. What do I want? And more importantly than the physical manifestation of the thing, the book, the yachts, the speaking events, why do I want it? What do I believe that having that experience, having that physical thing, the money, the love, the relationship, what do I believe that is going to have me feel? Because we are always after a feeling. And that is where we get to embodiment. Because here's what I need you to know. You can feel the feeling of anything before you have it. Yes, I know you've never had $1 million. You know what it feels like, though, to have choice in some area of your life. Maybe it's not tied to money right now, but all of us have experienced the feeling of freedom of choice, choices, because that's what money ultimately provides in today's society is choice. So that is why I need you to not just get clear on what you want, but why you want it, because that brings you to the feeling. And once you tap into having that feeling in any area of your life, you can switch that on in any moment. At the start of these past 90 days, I started to catch my thoughts. I got clear on what I want. I got clear on why I want it and the feeling I believe that thing was going to bring me. And then I started to embody that feeling through the daily micro actions, the daily delulu actions, if you've been following me, that put me in that embodiment. But here's the thing, the action is not the key. The identity, which is really the foundation for all of this, is what unlocked everything. I really wish I could explain this in a deep, visceral way because I really believe that what I'm saying right now has the potential to completely change your life in 30 days, 60 days, 3 weeks, which is why I am so passionate about what I'm saying, because I wish that I had gotten it from this perspective 10 years ago. So when I started talking about the 10 delulu things that I was doing every day, it wasn't about checking a list. I think some people just feel like you just check a list and you do some mirror work and you do some scripting and bada bing, 30 days later, whoa, I got my dream life. No, every step of the way, those were simply tools to anchor into catching the old thoughts, the old pattern, the old identity, the old belief system, and to anchor into the embodiment of already feeling and experiencing that thing. So when people talk about live in the end, this is what they're trying to say. I just don't think they're explaining it in a way that is really clear, because here's what I need you to also get. It is not that I start doing these things and then, oh my gosh, money just started flowing in and my following just grew the next day. I had every reason to believe that none of it was working because initially it didn't look like much was changing. And this has happened every single time I've had a quantum leap, a manifestation in rapid speed. There is a period of time where it looks like nothing is working, and you have to have such a curated inner world that external reality cannot infiltrate it, because your current external reality is based on the old identity you've been holding up for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So you just have to see that as, oh, that's the old me. It just hasn't caught up yet. Every time it looks like the thing is not going to happen and I thought it was going to happen by tomorrow and there's just no way it could happen, that is your old story. You have to let that go. Because once I started to embody the feeling and I was catching my old thoughts, right? Step 1. And I was clear on what I want, why I wanted it, and what the feeling was, step 2. And then I was embodying that by creating my daily habits and actions, step 3. I started to go out and take action in alignment with that version of me, step 4, and thereby started getting evidence. Now, here is the key. Most people are looking for the evidence, and when they don't get it, they make it the opposite evidence. I knew this wasn't going to work. It only works for the YouTube gurus talking about manifestation on YouTube. If you keep believing that, that will always be your reality. I need you to really get this on a deep, visceral level, that you are not your thoughts. You are not your feelings. You are not your current beliefs. You are not even the thing that you think you really are on an identity level. You can shatter all of that, and you can do it in rapid speed. And it will be the hardest thing that you've ever done. If you knew the amount of times that I crashed out, that I was crying, that I was over it, that I didn't believe it was going to work out for me, and I had to go through these steps over and over and over again, catch the thoughts, the old belief, the old identity. What is the story I'm playing out right now? Align with what I want. Why do I want it? What is the feeling I believe that would have? Embody the feeling right now through the tools that we all have available to us. You can choose one tool, you can choose 2, 3, mirror work, scripting, visualization, affirmations. They are tools. You are the magic. A drill doesn't work if someone's not drilling it. A hammer doesn't hammer if no one is using it. You are the magic. And then I had to take action, even when my current reality showed me the opposite. I vividly remember when I launched a small group mastermind a month ago, and I had this vision of having over a dozen people in this container. I said I would take up to 20 people, and I had no idea how that was going to happen. 48 hours before it was starting, I still had not hit what was my minimum number for myself, which was 12. And I did not know it was going to happen. Do you know, in the last 48 hours, 5 signups came. If I would have given up and decided that this just didn't work, it didn't work for me, no one wants it, no one wants to hear from me anymore, I wouldn't be having this conversation right now. When I think of every big quantum leap, from manifesting my husband to being able to buy a home in Los Angeles where my budget did not match the budget of the house, I remember that it required a level of faith, a level of delusion, a level of shifting who I am that made me so uncomfortable, but really was so simple. Because once you start to take action over and over again from the new identity, not the old identity. So the version of me who is already running a multi-million-dollar business, speaking on stages in front of thousands of people, she doesn't worry about numbers and statistics and what's normal and what is or isn't working for anyone else. She is so rooted in her power. She's not worried about looking dumb or failing publicly or people making fun of her or people thinking she's too much. She is not worried about it. And so why are you? Whatever your desire is, until you align with the identity of the version of you who already is experiencing that, not the one that's trying to do it, not the one that's becoming, not the one that believes it's possible but needs to create a plan, but the version of you who is already on the other side of the physical manifestation, you will never get it. The you that got you here cannot come with you where you were going. I need you to write that down, put it on your laptop, put it in your bathroom mirror, put it somewhere you can see every single day. This experience will bring up all of your deepest fears and insecurities because you will be vulnerably exposed. Because when you remove all the old stories that have been holding up your identity for so long, what is left? And that, my friend, is the scariest, most beautiful journey you will ever embark on in your entire life. If there was one thing that I wish everyone could understand about manifestation, law of attraction, quantum leaping, changing your life, it is that until you shift your worldview of yourself, your life cannot go beyond that view. When I say I don't recognize myself or my life from 90 days ago, I mean that. And 90 days from now, I'm going to do it all over again. This is the hardest and yet funnest thing that I've ever done in my life. And I want that for you too. Here's what I want you to do after this video. I want you to look back at your last 24 hours, close your eyes for 5 minutes and just watch yourself like a fly on the wall. Watch your body language, watch how you speak, watch how you introduce yourself, watch the things you do and don't say, the inner dialogue, when you look in the mirror, when you're washing the dishes, when you're talking with your kids, just observe it all. And then after those 5 minutes, I want you to write down what you notice. Who have you been showing up in this life as? Then I want you to write down, what do you want and why do you want it? What is the feeling you believe that thing will give you? And from there, I need you to decide, what is the identity, who you are that is in alignment with that version of yourself? You will now see the gap, the identity gap between who you've been and who you are stepping into. Then I need you to lock in. I need you to choose the feelings that are in alignment with what you desire. Find an area of your life that you already experienced that, whether it's abundance, freedom, creativity, love, support. You have experienced it in one area of your life. It may not be the area that you're stepping into now, but you can borrow that feeling and put it inside of this new area. I need you to go out every day and use the daily habits, actions, whether you choose mirror work or scripting or visualization, to start to feel those feelings more often than you currently are. Even if it's just an hour a day, I need you to lock in and tap into that feeling on a daily basis. And then from there, you have got to take action in alignment with this new identity, who has new thoughts, who has new beliefs about themselves, and now takes new actions. I need you to start showing up boldly. Even when your hands shake, even when your voice quivers, you are now stepping into and anchoring into that person. This is going to teach your subconscious brain that this is just who we are now. What feels uncomfortable today, because it will feel wildly uncomfortable, will not feel uncomfortable 90 days from now. If you keep doing this every single day, your life will not be recognizable. I guarantee that. I don't guarantee a lot. I guarantee that. 90 days ago, I wasn't this person. I was out of my power. I was frustrated. I was stressed. I was anxious. I was believing that results were outside of me. Today, I know who I am. I am powerful, I am magnetic, I am worthy, I am abundant, I am clear, I am free. I want that for you too. If this video resonated with you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I'd love to hear about what you notice, whether it's the inner dialogue that you've been running in the background or who you're stepping into. And if you want to be able to track your daily actions, I have a mobile app now that allows you to tap into the 10 delulu actions I use every single day to shift my identity, step into the manifestation, and change my life in rapid speed. You can download the app by clicking the link in the description. And if you want to go deeper into this work, I do this every single month in the Shift community where we are making tiny shifts for massive transformation. You get live group coaching calls with me, community support, connection calls with other members. It is the best space for identity-driven transformation. Click the link in my description. And if you want to do a one-on-one breakthrough session with me, I'm opening up a few spots. You can also grab that link below. I am so glad you're here. I hope this video really resonated. This was not scripted. This was me genuinely sharing what's on my heart because it frustrates me so much when people do not share what's really behind the tools and practices that are great, but they are not the thing that makes you. You are the special sauce. And until you realize that, until you awaken to the beautiful potential and capacity that is already inside of you, your life will remain the same. If you're watching this video, I know you're not that person. So I want to encourage you to replay this, share it with a friend, but get an accountability group together and lock in for the next 90 days. The time is going to pass you anyway. Will you sit there wondering what if, or will you be blown away by how much, not just your life, but you have changed in just 90 days time? Thank you for being here. I cannot wait to read your comments. I read every single one and I do not take it lightly. This work is from my heart and I am so grateful you're here and I cannot wait to see you on the next one.